I've literally gone back as far as my African American research is concerned. I think my oldest relative is 1769. That's Moses Williams. That's during the American Revolution.
So many gems for this
That's my
episode.
oldest relative.
Right, right. Okay, so I guess we could spin off that onto the next topic. How millions of Americans from different races, cultures, and ethnicities are connected at the most basic level, DNA, which is kind of like what we were similar to what we were just talking about, correct?
Correct, similar. And that Moses is that is actually a perfect spinoff to come to Moses.
Right.
So Moses Williams was born in 1769, and I believe in Virginia. He was born to a patriot. Well, his grandfather was a patriot by the name of John Williams, who fought in the American Revolutionary War. His father's name was Donya Williams II. And Moses had 45 children, 40 girls, 5 boys.
Wow.
It is through DNA that we have something called the Moses Williams Project, where me and 5 other of my cousins have decided to do the research and try to find all 45 children. We know that each one of us know that we connected him through a different way. I actually came across him by mistake because I know that his son, Moses Jr., is my 3-time great-grandfather. So when I was looking at a site called newspapers.com, I saw this name pop up, Moses Williams. And I was dumbfounded because the article was talking about how he looked 50, but he was all of 65.
You said he looked, you kind of broke up a little bit. You said he looked 50, but he was
65, actually, in age.
Okay.
So he looked 15 years younger than what he actually was.
Okay.
He had 45 children, 40 girls, 5 boys. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, wow, okay. Is this my 3-time great grandfather? I was kind of sure it was him. And I contacted my cousin Brian and he looked at it, and my cousin Brian, that's the one that pushes me. He put him and my cousin Sheila, they really pushed me to move towards ways that I never thought that I would be able to move towards, and both of them I found via DNA. But Brian, was talking to me about that and everything. He said, let me look into this some more. So he and we did our own little search, and he ended up finding an actual obituary note in 1884 for Moses Williams. And that's strange in itself, because you wasn't finding obituaries in the paper for Black people in the 1800s.
Right.
And one was found for him, and the obituary note said that he was 115 years old. So, and 43 of his children were still living. And I'm looking at this, and I'm like counting backwards and doing that math again. And I said, Ryan, our 3-time great-grandfather, Moses Williams, was born in 1791. Who is this? And we realized that was his father. So that's how I ended up finding him. And now, using the information that we have as far as DNA is concerned, we're able to connect people to him through our DNA, through different family members and so on and so forth. So it is literally at the basis, it's DNA that connects so many people. And because Moses had so many children, and all of his children during that time was having at least 10 children apiece.
Sheesh.
Yes. He probably fathered most of South Carolina. The whole county is related. The entire county is related.
Wow. I hope some of those 45 was twins, triplets, quadruplets. I hope moms are spitting them out 4 at a time.
So the thing is, you had one woman, he did that with 2 women. One woman had 22, the other one had 23.
Wow.
And so one of them had 2 boys and 20 girls. Another one had 3 boys and 20 girls.
Well, not to cut you off, that's better than I thought. I thought he had about 40 baby moms. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You know, it's possible during that time period because he could have been a breeder.
Yeah.
But that's where that's where the gene comes from in our family. Because my family can have kids; they can just have children. And if you have families that have big black families back then, and they was having them babies, that's because somebody in the background was having those babies too, and it was a constant thing, and they could just pop them out and without any issue, just popping them out.
Okay. Man.
So that's where the DNA comes in. At DNA is a dangerous thing in itself. You have to be ready to deal with that. When I said earlier that genealogy is something that chooses a person, this part of DNA, I know some genealogists that just won't touch.
Okay.
And that's because you're going to find out information. You can lose family members over DNA.
Right.
You can definitely lose, and I don't mean by lose them by finding out that they're not your family. I'm talking about busting those secrets wide open that nobody really wants you to know.
That is true. I think every family is hiding something.
Oh yeah. And some of them don't know that they're hiding.
Right, and like I said, when we was at my great-grandmother's funeral, it blew my mind of what I was reading, but then when you ask older family members, they were just so calm. Yeah, like they knew all of these things that y'all knew and I didn't know. It's like, it just blew my mind. It wasn't a shock to nobody else what I was reading.
Yeah. That's basically what it is. You have to be ready to take that in, or if you're not, and you start sharing it. I've had people actually say to me, especially elders, why are you doing this? Why are you trying to find this information? And I've told them, because I don't want my children going around marrying their cousins.
Facts.
I mean, I got a daughter and a son. Both of them, actually, I have one daughter and three boys. My oldest is 24. My youngest is 16. My 24-year-old daughter went to school with her cousin since middle school and did not know that this young lady was her cousin until after she graduated, and we told her.
Mm.
And that's the same thing that happened I have an autistic son who's 18 now, but when he graduated from 6th grade, he graduated with a young man that he didn't know was his cousin, and they fought each other all the time.
Mm.
They were always bumping heads in class, always. And we didn't find out until their graduation day that they were cousins. Yeah, so it's really a fascinating, genealogy is a fascinating thing, but you can lose family members if they don't want you to tell their story or tell their secret.
Let me ask you this question, just to put a comedic spin on this topic. As African Americans, do you think that we'd be better off dating outside our race then?
No, because I'm related to white people too.
Okay. All right.
Don't get it twisted.
He's screwed either way.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. White people did the same thing that black people did.
Mm.
They were doing that because, I mean, when I dig into Moses Williams' grandfather's line, they were marrying their cousins left and right.
Mm-mm-mm.
Same thing with Preston Brooks's line. They were marrying their cousins left and right. I've been able to dig back into 3 sets of my white family members. John Williams, which is Moses Williams' grandfather, which would make him my 6th great grandfather. He was married. His family marrying in and out. Then I have another line called the Settles. They were married in and out. Then I have the Brooks line. They were marrying in and out. So I know I have white ancestors and I have black ancestors, and they were marrying each other. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Wow. Yeah. So, just when I thought I had a plan for us to succeed. No.